Hey, how's it going? I'm gonna take around 15 minutes today just to focus on some nice slow mindful movement and focus on the balance a little. Just starting off, taking it easy, standing, finding a comfortable space, stable stance so there's a little bit more space between the feet. Take any natural movements here to start with, starting to scan through your body. And just notice how things feel this morning. Maybe you're swaying or moving that weight from side to side. Noticing how you move and adjust as well to stay upright. Bending a little bit more into my knees. And being aware of that shift around the base of the feet here. Nice, taking a step forward roughly to the middle of your space. A little bit of room backwards and forwards. And just from here starting to float and sway my right foot. Taking what feel like nice, gentle and easy swings. And trying to be fairly relaxed through your body. Let's take that over to the other side. So just placing down with the right foot, taking that lift and sway upwards with the left. Trying to keep the body fairly upright but not being too strict here. Just loosening out and moving into space. Let's take that same idea and move it a little bit slower. So shifting the weight over towards that left foot. I'm thinking about that being my base and balance, and I'm slowly moving out with that right foot. Move it backwards and through, navigate so we just miss the floor, and rise up behind. Take it up in front, behind. Maybe you start to shift and sway your body here a little too. 3, nice. Stepping backwards onto that right foot, and then taking that same idea with the left leg. Lifting upwards, shifting and moving back, lift up, move back, lift up, and move back. More about just exploring and tracing out those shapes than anything specific. Finding the middle of that space again, thinking about really firmly spreading out here through the feet. Shift upwards here onto the toes. Try to sense or be aware of that activation through the bottom of the legs, the calves. And bring it down towards the floor here. Shifting the weight maybe towards the heels and lifting the toes. A couple of times like that. Again, use your body just to navigate. Move in each direction. Thinking about that upper body here as well. Allow it to be a little softer. And just take some rotations around your body. Allow your limbs to feel fairly loose here. Relaxed. And of course, we'll start to use those as we move out into space as a counterbalance. Nice, let's move into those hips. Bring a little flexion into the knees, slightly wider stance here. Just take the hips down towards your version of a squat. Move as low as you can with the hips. Take it slow and controlled. Whenever you reach the bottom of that space, rise up with the hips. Maybe reach for the floor for support. Sketching out this pike shape and dropping back and downwards. Coming down to that squat, rising up with the hips. Pike. Squat. Lifting the hips upwards, pike. Use as much support as you need to here with the hands on the floor. Maybe a block in front would be useful. Pike. And last time, lowering downwards, find the squat and rise up with the hips, pike. Forward fold here. Find a comfortable version. Might be the first one of the day. Forearms can be across the thighs. Allow the head to hang heavy after a breath or two. And of course, if you have a little bit more space, you're moving further towards the floor. We'll think about unrolling and unfurling here, the idea of stacking the vertebrae on top of each other so that you can rise up to a standing position. Nice. From here, just bringing the gaze up and back down to that neutral space. Dropping the chin down towards the chest. Dropping the eyes closed. Left ear towards left shoulder. Back of head towards top of spine. Right ear towards right shoulder. and chin towards chest. Take that in the opposite direction, right ear towards right shoulder, back of head towards top of spine, left ear to left shoulder, and chin to chest. Draw up so your gaze is neutral, and in this space then just checking in with your balance. A little closer with the feet, try to be tall in your posture, a little bit more active than that soft, relaxed body space. Try to notice anything about your balance. Does it feel perfectly still? Is there a little sway back and forwards, maybe side to side? Or do you notice a spiral? Can you notice any movement in the feet to keep you still? And then dropping your eyes back into the room. From here, a little reach up on those toes. Take it nice and slow, control through the calves. Take the descent slow and controlled, bringing the heels down. So a couple more like that. We're going for 5 in total. Rise up. Up on those tiptoes, slowly moving down. High. Onto the toes, slowly moving down. 2 more. Lifting up here. Finding yourself a little taller. Slowly moving down. Under control. Rising up. And bringing it back down to earth. Before we move on here, just dropping the gaze closed again. Think about exploring that balance, using your proprioception, the awareness of where your body is in space, to slowly try to rise up onto those toes with the eyes closed. Take your time exploring that one, and maybe you lose the balance. Take two or three more attempts at that one. Eyes closed, moving slowly, no pressure on yourself, just a little bit of exploration. Rising up and lowering down. Lifting up onto the toes, working with your body, noticing what those corrections are saying, your sense of awareness, your proprioception. It's trying to signal to you. And rising up that last time, finding the top of that tiptoe position, the eyes closed, and lowering downwards. Nice. Feeling a little warmer into the toes maybe. Just loosen up through those legs. Taking it towards the back of your mat or where your practice space is. From here, focusing on a little single leg balance. So just lifting up here, focusing on balancing on that left leg. Right leg draws up. So using the hip flexor to stay up, but also trying to be tall, strong, active, and engaged through that left side. Chest is pointing forward here. And from here, just taking a step towards the middle of the mat, out with that right foot, move and land naturally, slowly and under control, bringing it up with the left knee. Keep your gaze forward, you have something to focus on, and really think about that nice engagement and a steady balance here. Dropping the left foot down. Nice. In the middle of the mat now, just freeing up that right foot so it starts to float. Staying close to the ground and fairly strict through the posture. We're just rotating and moving around the body with that right leg. Kind of 360 lunge or balance here. Tracing around your body, maybe a slight bend into the knee, but torso mostly upright. One more time, bringing it round. Nice. Shifting over to that right foot. Think about how you shift your balance, change that position. Tracing around with your left. Thinking about the idea of being mindful. So, being aware of how you control and signal those movements. How you counteract any challenges with your balance, reaching out into space. Bending, shifting a little. Bring it over so that the left foot is planted. A little bit More movement now as we lift up with the right slightly higher and start to sketch a shape around your body. Tracing a semicircle or moving towards a circle shape, reaching a little further behind that left hip and drawing it back and through. How far can we bring that right foot across the body? Can it go to the same space? And how much do you need to shift and move your body to make that happen? Let's draw it back and through, and again you'll start to notice all of those extra challenges for your balance. Finding stillness at the opposite end and bringing that right foot around for the final side. Nice, hold there and bring it round, switch it over. Shake out that left leg a little in between. And of course on the right foot we're starting close to the ground again. So left toes are just floating. Starting to swivel around my body. A little less worried about how far I can move out in space here. Just thinking about the idea of moving with control, so that I can avoid using momentum or force. From here, taking it a little higher with that left foot, maybe the leg is a little straighter, more active, so you're engaged through some of those muscles, maybe the quad if you're pointing the toes, and then start to take it out into space. Be a little bit more explorative, move slowly here as well. You notice effort from the right hip, the balance through that right leg, draw it around. So left foot is coming opposite the right hip, in front of the body, and then we're tracing the whole way around, trying to hit that checkpoint again on the outside of the right hip, maybe bending a little bit more, using the arms as a counterbalance, coming round last time on the right hand side. Nice, finding that standing position here. Again, just swaying out, rocking out, trying to be loose in between any of those efforts. And this last one, just taking that left foot out, lifting up a little higher, tracing round the body, trying to move a little bit slower, but maybe taking it out a little bit more towards that hinge, reaching out in space with those hands, and the leg is a little further away. Find that checkpoint at the back and bring your left leg back and round. An extra step forward to the top of the mat, bringing that right foot through. Same idea, just a little bit more movement outwards, a little bit more demand for your balance, strength, and your coordination here as well. Finding the edge of that space as the right foot moves around to the outside of the left hip, and we draw ourselves back. Nice. In this space, again, just allowing the body to be fairly soft in between. Noticing any changes in your breath. Trying as much as you can just to keep a smooth and consistent flow of breath. A little twist to finish off here. So just finding yourself a little bit of space backwards and forwards. Thinking about the left foot being planted. Lifting up with the right knee. So using the hip flexor here to pull that knee upwards. A little contact here with the left hand on the outside of the right knee. And if it feels good, you can start to twist and bring your gaze around towards the right hand side. And just check in on that balance before maybe reaching further behind with the right fingers. Notice all of those little micro corrections, that effort to stay still and bring it back through. Slow and controlled, reaching down with that right foot, switch over for this last shape or position, drawing up with the left knee, right hand outside of the left, starting to twist around the shoulders, follow with the gaze a little. And then maybe that reach outwards and behind with the left fingers. Again, you're using your breath to highlight and raise your awareness. Staying in that space where you're connected and able to move mindfully and maybe correct a few challenges. Finding yourself back, ready to take it to the floor here, moving through your squat, whatever that looks like and feels like, bringing it down to the bottom. From this space, maybe you want to continue with your movement practice, move on to a workout or a yoga practice. Have a good day.